I get asked quite often by students which kind of exercise should I expect in an interview, and I've seen there is very little content to get prepared to the coding interview. Now, it is true that once you do any kind of exercise on HackerRank or LeetCode, they are similar to an interview, but they mainly focus on generic programming concept. So let's dig in. Let's take exercise after exercise, and you can always refer to the full course if you miss something, but exercise-wise, let's go. Let's cut some pizza. JavaScript is a language. Don't be scared of JavaScript. JavaScript is very flexible. JavaScript is your friend. It's not magic. Don't be scared of JavaScript. A bit complicated. Quite a bit complicated. Next time we'll start making it a bit prettier. And I don't want to prepare anything before, otherwise it wouldn't be like in an interview. I want to show you the way of thinking. So let's ask ChatGPT to give us an exercise. And let's paste it here. Yeah, of course. Okay. So when you are in an interview, the first thing you want to do is to read the entire copy. Not to do random stuff, but read everything first, because there's a lot of clues. Let's see. Now, this is ChatGPT, so maybe there are not a lot. Now, because it's ChatGPT, maybe there aren't a lot of clues, but let's see. Exercise 1, filterable and sortable product table. Create a filterable product table. Each product should have a category, a price, and a name. Your table should include a search bar that can filter the product based on name. Also, include buttons for sorting the table by different parameters such as price and category. What do I know from here? Well, first of all, I have the data under, which is nice. So let's see if the data is correct. Each product should have a category and price and a name. Each product, category, price and name. Perfect. So the data is correct, is what I expect. And since it's exactly what I expect, I'll take it out of the exercise and I will call product data. There is no mandatory rule about uppercase const in JavaScript, but it's such a common practice that I think it's a good idea to follow it, especially in an interview. And the important thing in an interview is only do what you can explain. So you want to write everything in lowercase, you need an explanation. You want to write everything uppercase, you need an explanation. I care much more in an interview that you're able to explain why you do things than about what you do. Because a person that has a reason can be taught and can be discussed and can change his mind. A person who doesn't have a reason is a desperate case. So this is our product data. I don't think I have a need to change, so I can use this right away. Most likely, this is a mid interview, but most likely in mid-senior, senior, I would ask to make it asynchronous to simulate an API call, but that's not the request. So let's go from the very, very basic thing. Up to 2010, when people say make a table, they want a table tag. I don't think it's necessary anymore. So up to you if you want to use a table tag or not. Again, you need to explain why. And let's go here and let's map this product, map product, because this is a variable. And let's see what happens if I say product.name. Okay, I can show them. The problem is we wanted to display a list. Of course, I cannot put two adjacent siblings because anytime I express a new JSX block, I need a single root. And I need to close. So product name and product category. Okay, electronics, clothing. Now I have two choices because I want to display them exactly as a table. I can make a table or I can style. I'm not great at styling. Sorry. Is mainly because it happens so rarely nowadays to actual write style that I don't remember. So how do I display horizontal in flex? Flex direction, horizontal. Why not? Flex direction, horizontal not assigned. Okay, easy. Thank you. No? Okay, what about I do an interview? I'm discussing with a person. These, well, if I would be CSS developer, do they exist? This would be quite bad. The truth is, generally, at this point, I mainly use libraries, so a bit embarrassing, but it's okay. So CSS flex horizontal class. Let's see. Okay, Bootstrap is not ideal, but I can quickly just inspect how they do it because I just need to remember. So this is a flex row, and they say flex direction row. Flex direction row. So what's the problem? Display flex. Display flex. Okay. I was lied to by React Native because in the React Native Flex one also give the display flex property, and for some reason after many years I thought this was the case also in web. It's not. Okay, let's see if flex distance between element. Let's see if there's a property for that. I can justify content, but I don't like it. No, only grids have space, so pity. Let's see, gap. Can I use gap? Again, not React Native. Okay, gap works, perfect. That's how much style I want to put. If I would say I'm very strong at CSS in this point of my life, I used to be. But if I would say today, I would be very, very disappointed with myself at this point. But remember, it's an interview. Never, ever stress out. That's the worst thing you can do in any interview. Because if you stress out, it's gone. You will not be able to do anything. So you don't remember something, it's okay. Maybe I should remember flags. Still okay. If you don't pass, you don't pass. But if you stress out, you will perform horribly for the rest of the interview. So this is the list of all the products. Let's put the price as well. Price, okay, perfect. I guess they are dollars. So in interview, ask, are they dollars? Dollar sign goes first. But we can say, yes, we ask, it is dollars. Okay. So create a filterable product table. Okay, time to filter. Your table should include a searchable bar that can filter based on name. Okay, so we put our input of type text. I don't think it's mandatory, but why not? Value filter product text. This is actually a controlled input, so this one should be a property. And on change, we put our function. So we take our event. Like having this error here, it makes my life harder. It really does. I mean, I shouldn't care, but it does. Set filter product test. The e.target.value. Very, very basic. const filter product test set filter product test equal to use state of empty string. Please, error, go away. Error, go away. Okay. Okay, and I really hope it was going to import it by itself, but it's fine. Let's see if I can write. Yes. So the state is working. A couple of things before moving on. We might want to discuss why I didn't use callback. I think it makes it harder to read. I understand the implication. I can explain the implication. As usual, if you make a choice, be ready. But I don't think this component has those huge problems that are worth making this optimization now. Again, you can make it later. You can put it in a component, so it doesn't matter. There are a lot of things, but be ready to get the question, why didn't you use callback? Or if you use it, do you always use it? Do you think it's a trade-off or not? Okay, and so now I need to filter this data. So filtered product. And in this case, I do use memo because I don't want to create a new one every time. And it's very standard. Any kind of derivative data is a good idea to memorize it. Again, be ready to discuss memorization. And in the case of React, is memorization level 1. Which means every time the data change, a new version is generated and any previous version is discarded. You can have multiple levels. If you switch between two values, it makes sense to have a 2-value memorization level, for example. But let's move on. So filter product, let's see if it works. So let's just return product data. So we test that we didn't write anything wrong. Nothing should change. I'm not filtering. Okay, I always like to put the negative case on top. So if not filter product text, we want to return this. Why do I like this? Because the opposite would be constant nesting. So let's imagine that I go positive. So if filter product text, then something, otherwise filter. I'm adding a level of nesting because my code here will be nested. So one more to the right. Not nice. I always prefer negative at the top with early return. So I can mentally discard them when I read and they're gone. So if there's no filter product text, then just return the product data. Otherwise, return product data dot filter product dot name includes filter product text. Sorry. Now, I wrote includes. There are a lot of methods with string, and in interviews, asking a method about string is quite common. So includes pick up the name everywhere. So I can write shirt, or I can write flannel, or I can write null. So if I'm right, when I do this, it should filter. Why it doesn't work? So I would expect it does. That's what just happened is super interesting. So nothing happened till I clicked out. Why? Because I never said that this use memo depends on the actual filter product text. So it will never update. So the fact that I click out, it just happened that this interface decided to reload or React decided to reload. Because remember, React does not guarantee that there will be no re-render. It only says that you have to do stuff in a certain way to guarantee that there is a re-render when you need it. And because I didn't put the dependency here, the dependency from filter product text, it didn't work immediately. So now it's instant. And why did I make this mistake? Well, because I'm so used to SonarLint when I work and when I code on my personal laptop that it would have set this one as red straight away. So totally my bad, but it's important. You might not have a linter during an interview. It's important to recognize what's going on straight away. So if I write null, it's perfect. Is this test enough? No, always test properly. So first of all, if I write like this, nothing happens. I want to see in an interview that the person handle edge case. So you're talking with a person, you say, do I care about when there are no results? And if they say yes, you say, oh, perfect. So if the length of the filter product is 0, then we return no result. I cannot do it at this point, because if I do it at this point, I lose the search. So terrible idea. So const no result is equal to filtered, let's put a space, filter product. Okay, now I know why I was going crazy. It's not plural. Const no result filter product set length is 0. And now I can say in here no result and div your search produced no result. So case 1, perfect. Again, why like this? Could I put this one here? Yes, I can. But it's a lot harder to read. If I put it like this, it's self-explanatory. And if I name this variable better, like no search result, is even better. And if I use plural, since none takes plural in English, even better. I guess it's the time of the day. So no search results when filter product are 0, and if there's no search results, I want to see your search product produced no results. Perfect. Second problem, iPhone. It doesn't work. Why it doesn't work? Because I did not lowercase. So that's the problem with includes. With regular expression, I can say I want to reduce or not. I can't here. So to lowercase, I can use to local lowercase, but it's longer and I don't think it makes any difference for English. And now I test, I can try iPhone. Every time you change code in a functionality, you need to retest everything. So case of no product, it's okay. iPhone, it's okay. And null, it's okay. So it works for everything. Perfect. So filtering by product works. Product data should never change. That is fine. Search result. Quick recheck that everything looks fine. Okay, let's read the problem again. And that's again, every time I do a point, I reread the point to be sure that I filled it correctly. So create a filterable product table. Each product should have a category, price, and a name. Your table should include a search bar that can filter the product based on the name. Yes, a search bar, but I didn't write what this is for. So placeholder, search a product by name. Much better. A bit small. That's okay. We are not here to style. Your table should include a search bar. Okay. Also include buttons for sorting the table by different parameters such as price and category. Include button for sorting. Now we can do a drop down. But no, they ask for button. Let's do button. So button, sort by price. On click, something will happen. Yeah, of course, you want a function. Okay. Yeah, no, the best. Let's at least put this one here. Let's close it here. Okay, so sort by price goes after. And we can put the buttons there and close it here. Yeah, I will leave better with a bit of style, but it's okay. So button on click, sort by price. I can sort by price category. I guess at this point also name. Sort by price, category, and name. So UI wise, that's all I care about. Now let's worry about these. Sort by. Set sort by. Okay, so all I have to do UI wise here is set sort by price, set sort by category, maybe as a string, and set sort by clothing. Name. Okay, so I have my 3 buttons. Probably every time I see a repetition like this, I think maybe I should do a component. And in an interview, I would ask, do you want to do a component? Because in this case, we are really at the edge of it is worth doing a component. Maybe, I don't know. It depends how much we want to generalize this. So now we have the concept of sorted product. Should I sort first or filter first? Obviously, you sort after. Because filter is a loop that reduces the amount of items and filtering is a loop. Sorry, sort does not reduce the amount of item and filter does. So it makes a lot of sense to do it after. Or if you would really care about performances, then I would say then don't do filter and then sort, just do them together. But filter and sort together is kind of a nightmare. So let's not do it. Sorted products. Okay, so if not sort by, we return filter product. This one change when filter product change. This one filter on. This one sort on filter products. Okay, and this loop is now on sorted products. Okay, time to change our logic. So every time I sort, I get prod A and prod B. And now it's complicated and we need to do a bit of testing. So sorting can return 3 values, -1, 1, and 0. But in reality, whatever is number or characters, you can always subtract. 99% of the time it works. If it doesn't, you need to go deeper. If you are extremely good with sorting, you might be able to predict it in advance. I'm not. So if sort by is equal to price, let's start by price. Price is the easiest. Return prod A dot price minus prod B dot price. Now I just realized I don't have a concept of ascending or descending. So no, this one. I can sort by price now and it works, but I cannot switch. I cannot switch. There are 2 choices now. I can do price ascending like these and then switch it here, or I can create a second variable. I think this is the nicest, and I'm getting closer to the decision that probably I should create enums for all of these, but we can do it after. So let's start by these. And in here we need to switch. So if sort by equals ccy is becoming the case of creating an enum, because I'm writing the same thing again and again. Now 1, 2, 3, 4 with the one upstairs. Not nice. Not nice. The ascending like this. Okay. Yeah, too many cases. Anyway, case number 1. Case number 2. B minus A. Let's see. Again, I need to add it to the dependency list. Why? Okay, question number 1. Are we getting into the function? Again, never lose the cool. Sorting happening. Let's see. Sorting happenings. So it is called, and it's called every time. And the list change. Yep. Maybe it's not switching because it is sorted by price. Yeah. I made a mistake here. I'm always assigned the same. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So this part is working. Now, ascending means from the smallest to the highest. So let's see if I made a mistake. So now, smallest on top. Perfect. Okay, so we like this scenario. Now we need to do all the other filters. Let's create an enum. Enum sorting. I never understood why they don't have an easier way. Price descending. Should I do equal? Enum TypeScript. This would be very bad in an interview. If I go back interviewing. No. I mean, you can. Okay. Much better. I had a huge problem in a simulating system like this, where this is converted to an object in JavaScript when in a runtime. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to work. And for some reason, the compiler of the online system didn't work. And I had an error, it didn't make any sense. So I don't know. I use enum so rarely. Name descendant. Okay. So now we change them. If sort dot, but look how nice. I mean, once you declare them, so nice. And it throws an error straight away because it says, listen, this one is a string. You were wrong. You're making a string. So let's give a default. Maybe name can be our default. So you understand that I'm using a sorting. And there's no overlap. What are you doing? That's so funny. Okay, I love TypeScript. I didn't love TypeScript in the past, but now I do. So price as, price desk, and price ask. Okay, let's copy this one and let's just swap price with category. If you don't use Command D to replace variable names, you're missing a big thing. So start today. Okay, and this one is name. Perfect. Well, I didn't write it yet. Price works. Kinda, sorta. Maybe there is a reason. Comparison will have to be intentional because the type sorting price task have no overlap. What are you talking about? The type. Why does have an overlap? It's saying everything except this one. Why is the first one? Should I? Number of undefined. I'm not getting it. Maybe well, I will never do an interview that late. So sorting dot name, 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 name. Told you. TypeScript sort by name. Fairly sure you can do that. Local compare. Okay, even nicer. Always Google interviews is completely fine. I mean, do you think people don't Google? People Google. So always Google interview. It's okay. So it seems the only one it doesn't like is the first one. When I see an error like this, the first thing I do is I bring it last to see if it's actually the first one. Is this specific one? I've done something wrong in this. Let's try to rewrite it. Sorting dot price ascendant. Definitely right. Can probably define a product type. Why these? It's like sort by can be everything except. No, I even see this of type sorting. My feeling is TypeScript is going crazy. We'll restart the project after to verify if that's the case. Okay, category would follow the same pattern as this one. So actually I should have copied those two, easier. Okay, name, we change it to category. Bank, clothing and electronic, name, category. Name is fine. Okay, no, it's fine. It just 3 products is not enough to see it always changing. Price, no. What's wrong with price? Ha 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 ha. This is 0. This is 0. if not sort by, of 0. Now, because I'm always defining it, it doesn't matter on this line, otherwise I would have to check for existence. So, mystery solved. Perfect. Okay. And that's why it's important to always test everything you do. And if you see something incoherent, trying to figure out, there's always a reason. Okay, I think we're done. Now check everything again, as each product should have a category, a price, and a name. Your table should include a search bar that can filter the product based on the name. Also include buttons for sorting the table by different parameters, such as price and category. Done. At this point, it's a bit up to you and the time that you spent. I don't know how much has been passed so far. Generally, those tests are around 45 minutes to an hour, and often they are not thought to be finished in full, so you will never arrive having more time. If you're very senior, yes, it happens. The weirdest has been a test for an hour solved in 5 minutes. Like, what do you want me to do? Nothing. Okay. That was very weird. Very, very weird. Yeah. Of course, I got an offer, but very, very weird. Also, it gave me a very bad impression on the level they're looking for, and I feel like I'm underpaid. So I wouldn't do more. I would discuss with the person, should we want to create a component? If they say up to you, then I would, because it's an interview. But because it's up to me, I would not now, since I'm not having a real discussion. And probably I would style this one a bit nicer if I have more time. But if I have to Google everything, then it looks very ugly. So I wouldn't even ask something in an interview that I know I need to Google for. And it's very good I'm doing this series, because I know if I go back interviewing, I totally need to look again how to style tables. Well, that's it for today. If you have any question, you can write them in the comment. If you miss something, you can check the full course, which actually doesn't exist yet, but I'm on it. I'm on it. It will by the time a decent amount of people will see this video, I can assure you, for every complicated or easy concept I use, there will be a video you can watch to understand. And if there's any question that they ask in an interview or any exercise that you found that you would be curious, what would be my approach, you can put it in the comment. I'll happily have a look. And with this, goodbye.